Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for showing me so much love. We are almost 300 subscribers. Please continue to share with your friends who would definitely love the content that I'm sharing. So yeah, please help me get to 500 subscribers and I'll be doing a beautiful giveaway. So yeah, thank you really very much. Thank you very much for the love that you guys have been sharing with me. So yeah, continue to like and to share and to comment and interact with me. So today's topic is about preparing for marriage, what to do in preparation for marriage when you're in that season. So I'll obviously, be sharing my experiences and what I did as well. And hopefully that will help you just to give an idea of the kind of things that you can do and to prepare for marriage. So yes, let's get started. I'm so excited. So the first one is prayer. I think prayers is very important. It's important to pray for your marriage and to pray for your partner, to pray for your in-laws. The other very important thing is to pray for your soul ties. So that even when you're going into marriage, you're no longer tied to those past experiences, the past relationships, that you may have had. And it's also important to pray for your past experiences and to also forgive yourself as you're going to be going into marriage, to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you could have made. Nobody's perfect, and we all know that Jesus is here to save us. His mercies renew day in and day out. So yeah, I think it's very important for you to pray, to meditate on the Word of God, to spend time with Him. So yeah, that's the first one. The second one is self-love. It's so important to give yourself some love, to love yourself, to be able to spend time on your own, spend time by yourself, doing the things that you love, doing the things that make you feel the best you. It's important to take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's very important, mentally as well, especially when we have so much on our plates these days. You tend to forget about checking up on yourself and checking that you're okay. So it's very important for you to love yourself before you can love anybody else. So the other one is investing in yourself and in your marriage. And this goes in, you could invest in books. You could invest in attending seminars and events. You can invest in, talking to people who are already married, making that time to talk to them and hear some advice. And it's obviously very important in terms of who you select, who will sort of give you inspiration and give you advice in terms of marriage. It's very important for you to know who you want to be invested into your marriage. So the other thing is that also, looking at or doing some research in terms of what can I expect when I go into marriage. There are books that talk about that. There's so much content that you can receive. You can do so much research in terms of finding out what can I do to be that best wife, to be the best spouse, So do that research and find out what can I do, what can I expect in marriage? How can I prepare for marriage? And I think it's very, very important. And also, you also need to, I think, read and understand your partner better. Obviously while you're dating, you are trying to get to know your partner, but it's very also important to be intentional about it, to be intentional about getting to know them deeper. And for example, you can do the love language test, to get to know them better. So there's a test where you do, to check the love language. What is that love language that speaks to your partner? So there is what are those love languages? So there is acts of service, there is quality time, there's receiving gifts, there's words of affection. I think it's words of affection. So it's and words of affirmation. And then words of affirmation, and then there's also being affectionate, so it's those different ones. And once you do the test and you get to know and understand your partner better, then you know that obviously you won't just focus on that one, but you know that if you've mastered that and inside, what is that thing that really makes him happy and excited? So for example, mine is receiving gifts and quality time. So obviously my husband then knows that it's important for us to spend a lot of time together. Yes, you won't necessarily shower me with gifts each and every single day, but there's definitely different ways of giving to your partner. There's different ways of giving to your partner. And so his is act of service. So I do try, and I think it also just makes it sort of easier, because usually guys, it is acts of service. They do like it when you do things for them, when you treat them like that king, and they deserve to be treated that way, So I think for me, it's not really much of a challenge to do that. So that's one of the ways that you can invest in getting to know your partner better, and making sure that I do the best. You do want to make your partner happy, and they will of course do the same. And then so while we're still on the topic of investing, one of the things one of the things that I did was that I saw on social media, on Instagram, Mpoomy Ledwaba. I follow her. I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel, so I watch a lot of her content. So she then had a series of the love journey, and she had various couples who would talk about marriage and the experience and how tough the first year is, and just a lot of advice was. And after that love journey series, and then she had an event. It was called The Art of Marriage. And so she invited Auntie Gail, she invited Lady Lovebug on Instagram. Her name is Lebohang. And then so she also came with her husband. Brandon was also there. So Mpoomy was hosting this with Yolz. So I also follow and subscribe. I follow Yolz. So she also obviously talks about marriage and her experience of being a mother and everything. So for me, I felt that it was going to be beneficial, since I was engaged at that time, to attend such an event, after getting so much wisdom from that series that Mpoomy hosted on her YouTube channel. I said, why not go? So she then wanted people who were engaged or people who were married. So I was engaged at the time, and I said, listen babe, I told my husband, listen, I'm going to buy this ticket. I don't know how I'm going to get there, because at that time I was actually pregnant. I was a few months pregnant, and I was still going through the morning sickness and so forth. But yeah, my husband was able to drive me there. But the most important thing is that I was able to meet those ladies and the wisdom that they shared, and it's so important also to align yourself with people who are like you in the sense that they are Christians, they are rooted in Christ. And it makes things easier, because that you're in the right path, and the people who are speaking these things into your marriage and into your life, they can manifest, and they can manifest into a beautiful thing. And so yeah, I really, really enjoyed that event. And then after, I remember Lady Lovebug posting about a hike that will be taking place in Pretoria, and I said, listen, I need to see what is happening and who are these people. And so she tagged the PowerCoupleMovement. I followed them. I watched the content that they shared, and so they are also Christians who talk about marriage, and they talk about everything marriage, the best things about marriage. And so then I remember it was literally, I think, 2 months after giving birth when they had the hike, and I said, baby, listen, this is the best way for us to actually go out even. So we literally attended the hike and the breakfast. It was a beautiful experience, beautiful in the sense that we're able to meet other couples who were married, engaged. Some were still in courtship, and so literally that morning we introduced ourselves. I got to meet my husband and I got to meet the founders of this beautiful movement, and they're so amazing, they're so sweet. And so just before we went up the hill, Mr. Matsepe was able to share a word before we went up the hill, and just to show to share the purpose of the day, of the morning. And then after that we went up the hill. It was obviously tough in the sense that I had obviously not exercised and went out after giving birth, and so, but it was worth it. And it was amazing going out with my husband, but we were obviously engaged at that time. It was amazing for us to spend some time together and to meet other couples. And so when we got up to the mountain, to the top, we then had a circle, and then we all just shared what we'd like to pray for. So each individual, not just as couples, each individual. So you'd pray for restoration of marriages, you'd pray for happiness in marriage, you would pray for abuse, all sorts of things. It was the most powerful sessions I've ever attended. And yeah, after that, so we went down, and then we went to go have some breakfast at Summit at Menlyn. And after, during the breakfast, we then introduced ourselves, just how you guys met, how long you guys have been together, how long have you guys been married together, if they've got advice to share as well. So it was amazing. And I think what I'm basically trying to say is try and align yourself with people who are sort of in the same path, or the people that you're sort of inspired by, or you're aspiring to be, especially when you are preparing for marriage. It's important for you to see, to prepare yourself in the right way, and to align yourself with the right people, because when these people, or the people that I'm influenced by, people that I'm motivated by, people I'm encouraged by, people I get wisdom from, all these people are rooted in Christ. All these people fear and serve God, and it's the most beautiful thing to experience with them. And I think, yeah, so in essence, basically, invest in your marriage, invest in yourself. Don't just look at your partner. Don't just wait for you guys to get married officially, to sign, and then say, okay, where is the work? How do we get started? You prepare beforehand. And I think even God speaks to you before and says, my child, this is where I'm taking you. And you need to say, Papa, I am ready. Papa, lead me. Be the one that orders my steps. Be the one that opens the doors and leads me to the right people. And so the fourth one is being able to save, and being able to be open about your finances. So being able to save and being able to be open about your finances with your partner. If you guys are both working, it's important to be able to discuss your finances openly, so because you guys are obviously going to get married. You guys are going to be living in one household, and you guys need to prepare for that. If for example you guys don't own your own places, you then have a new experience in terms of saving up for a home, for a bond, whatever the case may be. And it requires a lot of saving, it requires a lot of research. So, and even when you do a bond, the agents and everyone will need your details. So your partner needs to know about it. Your partner needs to know how much you're getting, how much you're spending on beauty products and shopping and lunch dates and a daughter, all those things. It's important for your partner to know how do you spend your money. It's important for you to save. It's important for you to even save before he pops the question or you guys get married. It's important to put that money aside, because a lot of money is required for the wedding. Weddings are very expensive these days, especially if you want a fancy wedding. And also, getting a new place, furnishing that place, it needs and requires a lot of money. So that's why my advice is it's important to save. It's important to be open about your finances so that your partner knows how much you have, how much you own, how much you are getting paid on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, whatever the case may be, so that you guys are able to come together and say, this is how we're going to be budgeting in our new place, in our new home after marriage. I think the important thing is after marriage, in as much as you are saving up for the wedding, but there is a life. There is life after marriage or the wedding. Sorry about that. So it's important to be open about it and discuss it thoroughly, each and every single cent. One of the things that I did to also save was to have this Checkers thank you card. So I would put in money each and every single month. I'd put in like between 500 to 1,000, depending on the month. Sometimes obviously there's emergencies, especially that we've got a child, and it helps a lot, because that when you go into a new house, you'll be able to buy groceries. And the nice thing about Checkers and ShopRite is that you are able to buy household stuff, not just groceries, but your cutlery as well, your iron, your mops, so all those things you're able to purchase. So basically that's what one of the things that I did to also save up, apart from us having our own savings. So finances, it's very important to be transparent about it, and obviously also I think it's also important to be respectful. when you're sharing your finances with your partner, and to never speak or make them feel like they're bringing in a rand. So yeah. And then the fifth one is premarital counseling. Premarital counseling is the most important thing to do. As soon as you guys talk about marriage, it's important for you guys to say, you know what, let us find and seek someone who will be able to give us premarital counseling. With us, we are so blessed to have the people that we have in our lives who are able to assist us and prepare us for marriage. Our pastor was amazing. I think when you, in our situation where we had our son before marriage, obviously this it's not the ideal way, and also there's a lot of transition that happens, from being a girlfriend to being a mother and being a father, then being husband and wife. And one of the things that they instilled in us was to be friends, to put us first as lovers, as partners, to have that friendship, to have a solid foundation, and it was one of the most important things that we had to put first, and it was obviously challenging, because we thought, or we knew that, listen, our baby comes first, but ultimately we need to come first. We need to be okay, we need to be happy in order for our happiness and our love to overjoy and to overflow to our children. And obviously also, after having a child and everything, that transition, you do need someone to sort of talk to you and to guide you, and to. So premarital counseling is the most important thing that you guys can do for your relationship, and for your marriage as well. It's important for you guys to make sure that you guys have that partnership, that you guys are friends. You guys are, listen, and obviously iron out a few things if they need to be ironed out. And there's so much that goes into premarital counseling, and I think the best thing about our experience was that we had a young pastor, a pastor that his wife was also there on some of the sessions. We had a lot of fun with our sessions. Yes, there are some serious times, serious topics, and they're also the most amazing fun, childish. We had a lot of childish moments, and that is one of the things that he also taught us, that you guys need to play, you guys need to have. So he really, really, really encouraged us to have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with his family. There's so much that you can learn, there's so much that you can take from premarital counseling. I think it's the most important thing to do. It really, really helps and shapes you guys as a couple going into marriage. So yeah, definitely premarital counseling. Communication is very important in a relationship, so working on it on a daily basis, being able to manage your conflict, being able to resolve your conflict in a very calm manner, and also in a very respectful manner as well. And I think the moment you guys are able to instill that into your relationship, it makes things easier. It even conflict doesn't even feel like conflict. Because you're resolving it with so much love, with so much respect, and that is what your partner will be receiving, and that is what they'll be giving back to you. So communication is very, very important. It's also important to check up on each other in that process. Leading into marriage, it's important to talk about your fears, your expectations. It's important to share your expectations with your partner. Like, for example, if you would like to have a Bible study every 2 days, or having date nights every Tuesday. So I'm giving an example with us. So I obviously told him that, listen, I'd definitely love for us to have a set date for date night. Obviously we didn't know that Corona and lockdown would take place, but despite anything that could happen, making sure that we do make that time for date night, making that time for Bible study, making that time for our quality time, making time for our son, giving each other space in the sense that giving, because obviously a child is quite demanding in all aspects. So me being able to give my husband some time and some space in terms of him doing what he likes, whether it's reading or catching up on some podcasts, him giving me some time, whether it's focusing on my business a bit, or just taking a nap. So it's important to also be able to know and understand your partner and what they need and what helps them to also be the best of them. I think that's also very important. It's important to communicate what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, and how that journey and how the process is. Because if you come from a traditional family or an African family where lobola is part of a ceremony that is going to make you guys married, then obviously the two families coming together. But before they come together, lobola needs to be something that they talk about. Things don't go smoothly, there's challenges along the way, so being able to talk about them, being able to also know that sometimes you don't have control over certain things, but always knowing and trusting that you guys are in the right path, you're at the right place at the right time, everything is going to work for the good. So being able to talk about those experiences, and obviously also in a very calm manner, despite the fact that there's challenges, trying to save up for a wedding, trying to plan for a wedding, trying to celebrate the many ceremonies that could possibly happen. There's a lot of challenges, and I think it's important to communicate that with your partner, because obviously also in-laws like certain things, so, and vice versa, his in-laws, my in-laws, his parents, my parents, everyone wants to be part of the wedding, everyone wants to explain, everyone wants to experience it in a certain kind of way, making sure that everyone is happy, most importantly you guys are happy. So there's a lot that goes into preparing for marriage, but ultimately the important thing is making sure that you guys protect each other and you guys are there for each other each and every single step, leading to your special day. And then also the last one. So the last one is cooking. Preparing yourself in terms of being a spouse that will be cooking for your partner, whether you guys will be sharing the duties or whatever, but just preparing in that sense where you get to know his favorite dishes or her favorite dishes, and mastering them, adding that flavor, that extra thing, so I think it's one of the important things as well to also know what your partner likes to eat, and know how to make his favorite dishes, and come up with new ones as well, create a new tradition as well, create new recipes. So with me, I didn't cook that much growing up, so I said, listen, what, I'm getting married. Of cooking, yes, I can try obviously cooking some dishes at home, and trying some new meals. So I then came across a book called The Lazy Makoti by Mohau. And so I remember seeing that tag on Instagram, and I said, what is this? And I told my husband that it seems like she's having a launch, a book launch at Brooklyn. So we went, and any excuse to to go to the mall. So I remember we went, and we attended the book launch, and we bought the book as well. And so she was just talking about. So I definitely do recommend and love the Lazy Makoti book. It's got amazing African dishes that you can cook, also Western dishes as well. I absolutely love the book. It has obviously helped me a lot to prepare myself and to get to know how to make these different dishes. So yeah, we've come to the end. So thank you guys for watching the full video. I really appreciate it, and I hope these few tips can really help you in terms of preparing for marriage, and some of the things that you can also do in preparation for marriage. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please do share with your friends this video. So thank you so much guys for showing me so much love, and I'm looking forward to reaching 500 subscribers, and I'm going to be doing a beautiful hamper for the giveaway, for my 500 subscriber giveaway. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the love that you guys have been showing me. So yes, thank you. Bye. Thank you guys.